Ladies and gentlemen, the other day I put out a video about the Alex Pereira situation. ITP MMA Live just uploaded a video a few hours ago claiming that the woman has folded her claims, her accusations against Alex Pereira. So let's just go ahead and dive into that. Trigger warning again, because this is a touchy subject. But yeah, let's get into it.
Terrified because I don't know what's happening. My pants are around my legs after I told him no and pushed him off, and he's screaming in another language.
Alright, so unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours or so, you're probably aware of the very serious accusations surrounding Alex Pereira brought forth by this OnlyFans model Meredith Brown. This Monday, Meredith took to her TikTok, and over the course of 3 videos and 20 minutes of yapping, she made some wild claims that Alex Pereira sexually assaulted her on the night of UFC 302. As you can probably imagine, her TikTok videos have made some serious waves online and have garnered a ton of attention. However, since she made all of these accusations on Monday, things have really seemed to not play out the way that she expected, seeing as she's deleted the accusations from her TikTok, but she's also deleted her Instagram entirely. You know, things that totally truthful and honest people tend to do. Alright, and for those of you who somehow are not—
hold on, folks. They're harassing her. People are threatening to her in the comments, and you're saying, oh yeah, that means she's guilty. That's crazy. I want you for days to have people harassing you, sending you messages talking about how they're gonna get with you, and say and then tell me how much you want to stay on those apps receiving those messages. That's crazy. That's insane.
Not caught up with the story, I'm gonna save you 20 minutes of listening to Meredith talk in circles by giving you the need to know information right here. Okay, so prior to UFC 302, Meredith—
I just don't want to know, we don't know if it's true or not. I don't like how he's just just kind of like talking down on her claims, bro. This is very serious, but
got set up on a blind date with Alex Pereira through one of her friends who was set up on her own date to go out with one of Alex's training partners. On June 1st, the day of UFC 302, Meredith and her friend met up with Alex at Accuser MMA in New Jersey. And basically the whole thesis of Meredith's story from this point forward is that Alex was supposedly acting like a creep the entire day, and he made her feel really uncomfortable. Like, according to Meredith, he was acting creepy when they met, and when they all went to dinner together later that day, he was still acting really sexually forward towards her. Meredith also claims that when she and her friend were in the restaurant bathroom together, they both told each other how uncomfortable they were with the situation. Not only that, Meredith also supposedly told her friend to not leave her alone with Alex for even a moment. But it's like, if you're seriously this creeped out by the guy, why not just leave the situation? Like, what is stopping you guys from just walking out the door and calling an Uber? Like, I really don't get it. Anyways, after—
see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I was like, man, should I even talk about this? Because it sounds like victim blaming, and at the end of the day, we don't know what's true. We could say this sounds like bullshit. I mean, when Jaguar Wright first came out and said Jaguar Wright first came out and she said Cassie was not Diddy's girlfriend, that Cassie was a slave, and that she just uses him for like sexual things. People were like, that's a crazy claim. And then like a year later, it all came out to be true. So it could sound crazy right now to us, to people who weren't there, if something happened, but I think it's weird to just be like, listen to how she sounds. Like fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
After being creeped out by Alex all day, the girls and the guys briefly go their own separate ways, because even though all 4 of them were attending UFC 302, they weren't going as a group. And again, after supposedly being weirded out by Alex for the entire day, and after being away from him for several hours, Meredith and her friend willingly got into an Uber that Alex called for them and traveled to Alex's hotel room. And according to Meredith, after Alex was acting like a creep in the hotel room, she got into bed with Alex, and after denying him several times at initiating physical intimacy, eventually Meredith relented. As you can imagine, this last part gets a little not safe for work, but based on Meredith's account, Alex committed sexual assault by way of sodomy.
Yo, that shit's— let's just pause for a second, because it sounds crazy, bro. Because I mean, when I was listening to it, and I was like, well, why did you do that? Like, if you're a person who speaks to people, who talks to actual other people of the other sex, you would know that like women sometimes have done this. I feel like men have done this, where you don't want to have sex with someone, but you feel like you're being pressured really forcefully, or really, you know, at the time, and they choose that because they feel like something bad's gonna happen, so they try to like not necessarily comply, they try to just like make the situation not as insane, not as crazy it's about to be. And some of these people end up having sex with someone that they don't like because they kind of felt pressured into that, and then they just probably never see the person again. They don't file a report, they just, I don't know, this is a crazy situation.
Sodomy. And after she was assaulted, they both fell asleep together in the same bed, and then she went back to her hotel room the next morning. Alright, yeah, so that's basically the gist of it. Obviously, I left out some details from her story, seeing as she talks for 20 minutes, but some noteworthy details I'd like to mention are, first and foremost, besides her story itself, there's little to no evidence she actually provides to support that a lot of this even happened. Meredith has provided a record of text messages exchanged between her friend and Alex's friend, which supposedly started this entire story, which is definitely interesting. However, there is widespread speculation on how real these texts actually are, as at no point in any of these screenshots do you actually see the name of the person that's being texted. But when it comes to video evidence, for example, Meredith repeatedly claims that she can get a hold of security cameras to confirm that she was at this place or that place with Alex. But if this is true, then why did you not come with those prepared when making these accusation videos? You would think that when making such serious accusations about a professional athlete, she would gather as much evidence as possible in order to make her claims sound as airtight as possible. People online have also called out the fact that in the beginning of her story, Meredith mentions twice that she was supposedly unaware of what Alex's intent was for meeting up with her that day.
The only thing he said was, "Chama, I'll try and find the text proof where my friend was telling me this," which is disgusting now that I know what his intent was. Goes behind me, looks at my ass, and approves to his translator, which is also disgusting now that I know what his intent was.
But it's like, bruh, how could she even say that? She agreed to go on a blind date with this professional athlete, and I'm also like 99% sure Alex knew that she was an OnlyFans model, seeing as he looked at her Instagram profile before agreeing to meet her. Like, is Meredith really trying to convince us that she genuinely thought that they were just going to go see a movie and go mini golf?
What is being an OnlyFans model? Like, there's no implication there, all right? There's no implication. It's just what she does for a profession. Like, you're saying, oh, like, he didn't know she was an OnlyFans model. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that something was going to happen when she showed up. That's crazy.
Golfing together? Absolutely not. She knew what was on Alex's mind probably from the moment she agreed to the blind date. And not only do I find it unbelievable that she was totally unaware that Alex was just looking for a one-night stand, but I also kind of find it insulting that she's trying to convince us otherwise.
But if she told him no, that she didn't want to do that, if she kept telling the translator, yo, tell him I don't do this shit, I don't do this shit, I don't do this shit. You can't be like, well, she's the OnlyFans model. You're fucking crazy. This guy... I would be shocked if the guy who does this video is married. I would be very shocked. Or even in a relationship. I would be shocked.
Otherwise. And honestly, there's some other small things that I could probably mention, like how Meredith claimed earlier in the video that she's not comfortable with people touching her, not even her family.
They're giving us drinks. Alex won't get off of me. I'm not into it because I don't know this man. I don't like being touched if I am not, like, if I don't know you and I'm not comfortable with you. Even if you're my family member, I just don't like being touched.
But later in the video, when she was in bed with Alex at the hotel room, she then said that she's comfortable with cuddling.
He starts touching me down there repeatedly. I keep pushing him off. I keep pushing his hand off. I keep bringing his hand back up to like...
Why doesn't he mention that she says she's okay with cuddling over him repeatedly, like trying to rub her fucking knees? You don't mention that? You're like, she says she doesn't like being touched, but then says she was okay with being cuddled after she said he kept fucking putting his hand on her visa, and she moved it to her hip because she's much more comfortable with cuddling than this man fucking like, why didn't you mention that? This is crazy.
Like my waist so that we can just like cuddle, because I'm comfortable with cuddling. I'm not comfortable with putting out with somebody that I don't know.
And again, that's just a small detail, but yeah, I don't know, it just seems inconsistent to me, I guess. Anyways, as you can probably guess, these accusations caused quite the stir amongst UFC fans online. Immediately, people started scrutinizing her story, pointing out her questionable decision-making, highlighting her lack of evidence, and just flat out attacking her credibility and general honesty. For example, in response to one of Meredith's claims that she's just not a big UFC fan and she didn't know who Alex even was at the time, internet detectives actually found this crazy video of Meredith in the crowd at UFC 299. In this video, you can clearly see Meredith flashing her melons at the camera to celebrate Sean O'Malley beating Chito Vera. Nice, very classy. The ironic part about this is that Meredith claimed that she's not a big fan of the UFC in literally the first 45 seconds of her story.
That we went to, I don't know what number it was. I'm not into it like that, like she is. This was my first time.
And even though just because she attended a UFC pay-per-view event doesn't necessarily mean she was lying about not being a huge UFC fan, it really doesn't make her case look any stronger. Like, you claim to not be a big UFC fan, but you're so excited about the outcome of this fight that you literally flash the camera? Yeah, I don't know about that. It seems like you might like the UFC.
Who the fuck was excited about the outcome? It was a 5-minute beating, all right? This is a fucking post for clout, obviously. Or do you even know what fight she's reacting to? I would understand if that was like a flash knockout, but 5 straight rounds of domination and she's jumping around like that. Nobody was excited for that. I didn't even care for that fight in the time. It was so boring. That's probably the most exciting thing that happened with that fight. That fight, I mean, you had the knee, but it was a one-sided fucking fight. Nobody was this excited for the result of that fight because it was a foregone conclusion, especially after 25 minutes of ass whooping.
See, maybe a little too much. Internet detectives also tracked down Meredith's friend who was present throughout the entire day. And this is kind of crazy. Not only did they find this girl whose name is Jessie, but it seems like Jessie actually unfollowed Meredith on Instagram shortly after Meredith posted her accusation videos. And admittedly on this one, I'm just putting my faith—
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean nothing, but it could definitely mean a few different things. Like, doesn't mean she's lying.
In the internet detectives being correct here, but if this is true, it's a pretty crazy addition to the story. I will say this though, I think that this is actually true, seeing as this Jessie girl has a photo with both Alex and his friend at the same gym that Meredith mentions in her story, and she posted it on June 1st. And speaking of Alex's friend, whose name we now know is Mel, he quite literally just posted to his Instagram story with the following.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
And yeah, I'm not a detective myself, but just based on this Instagram story, it seems like Mel is trying to tell the world that Meredith is lying about all.
You think, oh, he's clearly trying to tell the world that she's lying. Yeah, of course he doesn't want to say, yeah, my boy with her. You think that's what he's gonna come out and say? This is crazy to me.
Of this, I don't know. Not only that, just earlier today, someone posted to Reddit this screenshot of a brief exchange between themselves and Meredith via Instagram DM. After taunting Meredith and warning her to get some defense lawyers, Meredith supposedly responds by bragging about how much money she's made from her OnlyFans with all the attention this has brought to her over the last 2 days. On that note, today Meredith not only deleted her entire Instagram profile, but also all 3 of her accusation videos from TikTok, which, yeah, I don't know, that doesn't really seem like something a person who knows they were telling the truth would do. Like, does this not kind of feel like a silent admission of dishonesty to anyone else? Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's an up-to-date recap of the saga so far, and if you're wondering what my take is on all of this, well, I'll tell you that first and foremost, this is a weird fucking situation for sure. And I'm sure you guys have probably picked up the vibe that I'm pretty completely in Team Alex on this one, but even if I didn't know who Alex was at all and I listened to Meredith's 20-minute story, I'd still be as as utterly baffled as I am now, wondering how and why she thought that doing what she did would be a good idea. Like, this girl came out of nowhere, made some serious accusations about one of the biggest athletes in the world without any evidence and even less credibility. I don't really consider myself the smartest guy in the world or anything, but I just can't wrap my head around doing something this monumentally impulsive and dumb. Like, if you are going to try to expose any sort of celebrity for sexual assault charges via TikTok of all places, you better come with a foolproof, airtight argument, 5-paragraph sources cited. But instead, this girl Meredith posted a 20-minute video where so many details of her story do not hold up even under the slightest bit of scrutiny. And this leads me back to the same thought that has been going through my mind for the last day or so now, which is, what was she expecting out of all of this? Because she clearly didn't anticipate things to go as poorly as it has for her, seeing as she's disappeared from Instagram entirely. I mean, genuinely, the only conceivable explanation that I can come up with that might explain why she did all of this is to promote her OnlyFans, but if that's really the case, then why delete the Instagram? I don't get it. And if it wasn't to promote her OnlyFans, then honestly, the only other explanation that I can come up with is that this girl really did not think this through at all and misjudged how the internet would react to her story. Maybe she thought she was a way better actor than she actually is, and she'd be able to easily win the internet's sympathy just from her story and crocodile tears alone. Like, I don't find it all that hard to believe that an OnlyFans model who flashed the camera at UFC 299 might be a bit of a narcissist, so maybe she really did believe that these accusation videos were her ticket to internet fame. Anyways, for what it's worth, I don't think that Meredith is lying about a lot of aspects to this story. Like, I genuinely believe that she did meet Alex, they hung out all day, and that they actually had a consensual hookup that evening. And we can only speculate as to why Meredith has turned around.
How you gonna say, I believe they actually did hang out? So there's no proof of the hangout. When she says they hung out and all these things happened, he's like, there's no proof. She needs to come with the proof. But then he's like, I personally feel like they did meet up and they hung out all day and had consensual sex. Like, what? You have no proof of her saying there's assault and they hung out, but you're saying I believe they hung out and had consensual sex. This is nuts.
Turned around and made these assault allegations. Like, maybe she just saw this as an opportunity to promote herself online, like I just said.
Then why wouldn't she do it right away? Like, she's gonna claim rape, right? Like, if that was the whole intention, is to have consensual sex, then turn around and claim error, then why didn't she do it immediately? Or she could have did it. She said she was scared to take a shower. She didn't take a shower. She said she was sitting there fucking immediately. Why didn't she go immediately if this is your claim, dude? This is crazy to me.
But I also just can't shake the feeling that maybe Meredith wasn't pleased with how cold Alex can be even when on a date, and perhaps that offended her somehow, I don't know. And after stewing on this for several weeks, maybe her mind warped the reality of what happened that day into a much darker story where she now sees herself as some sort of victim to Alex's manipulations. It's just that I think maybe the situation meant very different things to both of them. For Alex, he was just trying to have a one-night stand with this OnlyFans girl, whereas maybe for Meredith, who knows what she thought it was. But what—
Man, it's so crazy because he keeps saying like OnlyFans, like that just means like she's DTF no matter what, bro. Like, grow the fuck up, dog. Like, go out into the world, talk to people, bro. This is crazy.
But what I do know is that Meredith's accusations have really backfired on her spectacularly. Because not only has she been forced into hiding from the internet mob, but even her friend that was with her that day has seemingly turned her back on her, possibly indicating that Meredith's story
online,
might be—
she turned her back on her online, nigga. They could be kicking it right this moment in real life, nigga. IRL, this is crazy.
Closer to fiction than reality. Man, with all of this being said, I'd really love to hear Alex's response to all of this drama. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this very, very strange—
Yeah, this nigga look crazy. Look at this nigga in the corner. This nigga look crazy. This is the nigga that's saying, oh, OnlyFans model. I'm hating, bro. So I thought that video was gonna be like actual information. They're claiming the title of that video said she folded, all right? She folds a day after, and it's not that she folds, it's just that fucking incels, potential incels, think everything has to be cut and dry. Everything has to be one way, or this means that, and it's like, no, bro, doesn't mean that. Okay, the world is complex, people are complex. That video was fucking gross, honestly. Bro just kept emphasizing she's an OnlyFans model, so how did she not know what he was coming there for? Nigga, was he coming to shoot a film? Was he coming to shoot content? If he wasn't coming to shoot content, then stop bringing up the fact that she's an OnlyFans model, or like that she does OnlyFans. Stop bringing that up, because she's going on a date with someone. She's not filming you. Fucking craziness. It doesn't mean that just because she does this, that this is guaranteed immediately when she meets someone. Oh, there's a penis. I can't, like, she can't fucking help herself. She has to go get that fucking new penis. Like, you're fucking nuts. All right. That shit pissed me off, dude. Just like slut shaming, victim blaming, dude. Fucking A, bro. Fucking A. Grow up, bro. Grow the fuck up. And so no more real clarity on the situation. I thought ITP MMA Live was gonna have the facts in there, but nope. Just a insane fucking potential incel who has no idea about life. This is that, so it has to be this. No, man, life is crazy. Life is crazy. I honestly don't know if I want to post this video because I don't feel like we got any new information about the situation. I feel like we just got a lot of slut shaming and victim blaming by a potential incel. So tell me what you guys thought about that video. What do you guys think about the situation? Keep it PC. Just as I was going to edit that video, I saw that Alex Pereira has finally responded. Let's see the response from Alex Pereira.
Time of this video, Alex himself has yet to comment on this situation. Yesterday, Alex and Glover Teixeira attended a charity event, and Alex spoke on his past addiction with alcohol. We translated the clip with AI, so that's why Alex is speaking English.
Alex, come on. Sherman, all of you here gathered for a good cause, and thank everyone who is in this.
You can do that with AI? Just put a fucking English translated voice over fucking somebody speaking Portuguese? You don't hear the Portuguese at all? This is crazy.
Battle, right? Trying to motivate all these people. Well, some people know about my history with alcohol addiction, but some people definitely don't know. Okay, I'm going to talk a little about what happened to me.
So update on that, I thought we were going to get a response from Alex Pereira, but it looks like what we actually get is that other people are just, you know, we're making guesses on what we think happened during this whole thing. Meredith is the only one that's actually spoken out on the situation. It's been 3 days, and Alex has posted repeatedly to Instagram, but has not addressed the situation. The guy Mel, who was mentioned in the original story, has responded, as you've seen in the video here, but nothing from Alex. Radio silence. I'm sure he's seen it. I'm sure he's fully aware of what's going on. He's been trending for 3 days, infamously, but I don't know. Maybe Alex will address this at some point. People are saying, oh, her going off social media is a sign that she's guilty, or that she's not telling the truth. I don't believe that. I believe him not even coming out and saying this is false, not even addressing it at all, is sketchy to me. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's sketchy that Alex is not responding to these accusations, these very viral accusations? Or do you think everything is on the up and up? Thank you guys so much. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.